Let's have a conversation.
What's happening, everybody? Good evening. It's your boy. I'm here to talk about a topic that sparked from these comments that I got about the Cardi B statement that she made, which was basically saying that she's having anxiety about releasing her second album because of the fact that people watch and criticize everything that she does now that she's in the spotlight. And I can understand her to an extent. I wanted to explain in which ways I can relate to what she's saying. And I wanted to talk about the topic of, can I or should I try to monetize my passions? Now, that answer is not something that is just a answer that is one answer for everybody. It's going to be different things to different people. And I want to give an example of a way that you can monetize your passion and a way that monetizing your passion does not serve you. And both of those are examples of me. In 2018 or so, I remember I quit my job to pursue a career in doing photography and videography full time. So, how I started doing that, photography and videography have always been two of my biggest hobbies, even ever since I was a kid, all the way up until now, and they still are. So, I remember I used to take videos in the gym of different classes that I was doing or different fitness events with my phone. And even though my phone was not, the best quality, because now you can actually do a whole video with your phone. But back in the day, phones were like average quality videos. And I used my old phone and I would take videos and I would use my editing software, put everything together. And people in my gym would tell me they loved my videos. And they would say, Mark, you should pursue a career in doing this for a living because you have talent. So I ended up going out. It's an interesting story, actually. A friend of mine who had seen me do only videos with my phone in the gym said, I want you to record my daughter's Sweet 16. Sweet 16s are a big deal. And I was like, that's a lot of pressure. So I told his friend, I don't know if I could do that. They said, you're the one for the job. I want you for the job. So funny enough, I went out to Best Buy. I bought a camera just to complete this job. Because of how much the camera cost and how much I was getting paid to do the job, kind of evening itself out, I even considered returning the camera after the fact. But I said, okay, this is an investment. I did the Sweet 16. I recorded it. It turned out very well. I was really happy about it. And I was like, this is the beginning of a long career doing photography and videography. So after I did that, I started to get more recommendations. I started to get more jobs. I started to get more gigs. Well, a few things happened with that. Number one, I like taking pictures and videos and all that kind of stuff, but I like doing it for myself. I don't necessarily like doing it for other people. I still do it sometimes for other people, but generally I don't. And this is the reason why. I'm a person who is creative with mine. So I don't just hold the camera and like to follow somebody's specifications. I like to do things the way that I like to do them. So what I found was, at first people were like, do you, Mark? You're the videographer. You got the skill. And I would record the whole video of the whole thing, and then the person would tell me that sucked. And I'm like, this is a masterpiece. What are you talking about? I didn't say that because obviously I was doing business with them, but I was thinking to myself in my head, this is a masterpiece. So how are you telling me that my work sucked? So they would be like, I wanted you to record from this angle. I wanted you to capture more of this. I wanted you to do more of that. And then they would be telling me that the price was too much, or they were hoping to get the family discount or whatever. The business, I could give a lot of examples, but it's just a short point that I have is that the business actually at a time made me lose my enjoyment for the hobby that I was doing, to where somebody would book me. I was only now using my camera for events that I was booked to be at. And I was only going to events if I was booked to do videography or photography. So that means I wasn't enjoying the events. And then I was following somebody's specifications and maybe doing a video in a way that I don't like it because somebody's paying me to do it in that certain way. So I remember I was just going to continue doing it because it was a way to make money. I had this camera, and that was the path that I had kind of chosen until I had a car accident. And I remember when I had the car accident, I had several gigs that were booked. And the thing about anyone who does freelance, you know that it's like you only get paid when you're doing the work. It doesn't have the same luxury of a 9 to 5 where you know you're getting that paycheck every 2 weeks or 1 week, whatever, if it's weekly or bi-weekly, regardless, right? So it's like it put me out of commission. During that time, at first I was doing nothing, but as I was recovering from that car accident, I started to make videos. And as I was making the videos, I started to realize, even though I still do like photography and videography, I like being in front of the camera, actually, more than I like being behind the scenes and behind the camera. Because in front of the camera, I don't have to edit. I don't have to really, I can just show my personality and display who I am. And I learned that that's something that I enjoy. And I also learned I don't enjoy really doing photography and videography as a job, even though I still do it on occasion based on who's asking me and based on what the job is. I might do an occasional job here or there, but I know it's not something that I want to do for a living. And some people think that I failed at that, and that's the reason why I stopped. I did not fail. I got paid thousands of dollars to do that. I remember I got paid to travel, to do like a photo shoot for, I don't know what you call it, but one of my friends and his wife was pregnant, and I took like the photo shoot for that. I captured weddings. I captured christenings. I captured gender reveals. I captured a couple funerals, graduation pictures and videos. Like the cameras that I got took me to a lot of different places. I connected with so many different people. I got to be a part of so many special moments. It's not a failure that I learned that I want to keep that in the hobby lane. Now, in terms of monetizing passions, because I'm telling you about one that I learned that I do not really care for having in the monetization lane. This YouTube page is an example of something that I am monetizing that is a passion. A passion for me, two passions for me here, 2 or 3. Motivating people, doing music, and doing fitness. Those are 3 things that I enjoy doing and that I do regardless. Without this YouTube page, I was recording that kind of stuff and putting it on my Instagram, putting it on my Facebook, and putting it on whatever social media that I have. And I actually had a friend who at one point, I told them that doing YouTube and this kind of thing was overwhelming for me. So what they said is, Mark, you do that stuff anyways. So instead of putting all that stuff on your Facebook and Instagram and whatever else. Make a concerted effort to put that stuff on your YouTube page. And I'll give you an example of how I do that in a way that has not made me lose my passion. You find ways to plug in the things that you're already doing into your page, like integrate that into your lifestyle. For instance, let's say Big D's birthday party. Big D's birthday party might have been something that I would have gone to. Not guaranteed, but it's a possibility that it's something that I would have gone to even if I didn't have a YouTube page. But knowing that I have a YouTube page, before I went, I was like, I am going to have a good time. Some parts of my good time are not going to be on camera, and some parts are going to be on camera. So I had a game plan going in. I'm going to go there, and at first, I'm just going to introduce myself, blah, 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 have a good time. And then, as the night gets deeper into the night, and if I have a chance to talk to some of these people, I'm going to make sure to get this on camera. Or another example, I go to the gym. Now, the videos that you guys see me do, this is a life hack because I want to say that I'm sure that this is most fitness influencers. What you see them doing on the video, for the most part, is not usually their workout. And that's the case for me too. I will complete my entire workout sometimes, beginning to end. And then I will say, now that I'm done my workout, I need to do my content. So I will capture a couple of minutes of myself on the treadmill. But really, I was on the treadmill for 1 hour. But what I did was I finished my hour because I had to get my whole workout out. And then I set up the camera for a couple of minutes, capture a couple of runs, and that's it. At least I do mine after. Some people just come in just to capture the content only, and then they bounce. In terms of music, I'm like, well, I don't really do too much music on here. Unfortunately, it's because I don't compose music. So the music that I play always gets copyright strikes. So I don't really put too much music. But the fitness stuff, and the motivational stuff. The motivational stuff is things that I would usually record anyways throughout my day and throw that up on Instagram. But now I kind of map it out. That's something that I was typically going to put on Instagram. I make sure that I put it on here. So you can monetize your passions, I would say, depending on what those passions are. And if you can find a way to do those things without necessarily shifting your whole life around. For me, it's just a matter of pulling out the camera a little bit more often. It's like I'm doing all the stuff that I was doing before, but I just think to myself, I want to capture like 5 minutes of footage. And sometimes I can actually capture doing multiple things and post them at different times. That's another life hack. Like the things that I'm not posting in real time, like my video posts, I don't have to create all of them that day. I could create several of them and space out when I'm posting them, so it's not overwhelming for me. Because I'll tell you guys, I love doing this for real. I do not feel like this is stress. I don't feel like this is work. I enjoy creating content for this page. I enjoy getting on here and doing these lives. I enjoy putting up shorts. I enjoy, connecting with the people. If that changes, I'll let y'all know. But so far, it's December. I started doing this in August. It's not that long, but I have over 400 videos that I have put up in the span of 4 months. And I still haven't gotten tired of this. So this page is proof that you can actually monetize some of your passions depending on what those are and how passionate you are about it and how you go about integrating that into your life. So that was my talk about, can I or should I monetize my passions? It's a case by case basis. There are some cases where it's not worth it, because I've said this, money can perverse your passions to where you're like, now I have obligations for this and I don't like it, I don't love it if I'm doing this because I have to versus just doing it because I love it. And in other cases, like in the example I just gave y'all, it doesn't take away from my love of what I'm doing, because I love what I'm doing regardless of whether I'm posting it on here or not. I love what I'm doing no matter whether I'm posting it on here or not. Posting on here is just an extra step that I know that I have to do for business purposes. That's it. So it can go either way depending on what it is, and it's up to you, and you have to think about that for yourself. I hope everyone has a great night. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified of when I drop some more fire content. Talk to y'all later. Have a great one.